Hi guys, we're back again with another episode. I'm here today with Charlotte and Richard from Libby Mae's Little Angels. I'm going to hand over to you guys first to explain all about the charity.
So, Libby Mae's Little Angels was formed in memory of our daughter, who sadly passed away at 2 weeks old from a rare heart defect in 2013. We set up the charity to raise funds initially for the hospitals that cared for our daughter, which were Birmingham Women's Hospital, Birmingham Children's Hospital. We've since grown the charity and are now supporting all 18 neonatal units in the Midlands region. So we supply with the hospitals with what they need to try and improve the neonatal journey. Everything from comfortable chairs, which cost around £1,600 each, to refurbing parent accommodation rooms, which is anywhere up to about £10,000 to £15,000 a time, because everything we buy has to be NHS approved and through particular suppliers. We also supply medical equipment when required. We've supplied a ventilator. We've supplied an incubator, which cost in the region of £26,000. And we also supply memory boxes to bereaved parents. These are made up by ourselves and our volunteers, and these cost around £50 per family. These are given to any parents that suffer a neonatal bereavement in the Midlands.
And those are the bigger things we support. Like, we're trying to help. It's like sometimes we get the best reaction from the tiny gestures we do. So at Christmas and Mother's Day, we'll go around all the units to make sure on Mother's Day that Mum has a present and a card from the charity. Because really, I know if I was a dad on the unit with Mum, I wouldn't be even thinking about that. But so it's another nice little gesture. And then at Christmas, we go out and I dress as Santa, our little boy, he dresses as a little elf, and we go around and give Christmas presents and cards out as well, which, the feedback we have from there and the mums and parents is just crazy. That, how thinking about us in this time of need really, really means a lot to them, because they are, if you've ever been on a neonatal unit or your baby's stressed, it's the most stressful time in your entire life. I can't imagine anything worse. And being through that, it's awful. So to have somebody knowing they're thinking of you, yeah, it's amazing. So that tiny little gestures we do also helps.
So we've also supported training for nurses and doctors. We were approached by a nurse who at the time was at Birmingham Women's Hospital. She was actually one of the first nurses who actually cared for Libby when she was admitted. And she wanted to go back to university to get her qualification as what they call an ANNP, which is an advanced neonatal nurse practitioner. These nurses can carry out duties similar to a junior doctor, so it takes a lot of pressure off the doctors and consultants. The training course at university for this was £23,000. So we actually funded that course. So Libby Mae's have got their very own sponsored nurse. She's now actually working at Telford Hospital, so that is still within our region. But we're really proud to have her as one of our sponsored nurses. And we've also sponsored study days for nurses and doctors. And we've supplied equipment for those study days. It's just endless, really, the things that we can get involved in. But we don't actually give money to the hospitals. The hospitals know who we are. They come to us, tell us what they need, and we will source what they need and provide it to them, so that we know every single penny that is donated to us, we know where it's being spent. Myself and Rich run the charity. We're Libby's mum and dad. We've also got a little boy, Riley, who's 10. He helps us along the way. We're helped by family, friends, volunteers. Everybody, including myself and Rich, do everything voluntarily. We don't take a penny from the charity, so every penny that is donated goes to where it should, and that's to help save babies' lives and to help improve the neonatal journey for those babies and their families.
That's really important to people. There's so many charities out there that do it really well, like yourself, where all the money goes directly to the end cause. But we've all heard those horror stories where money is wrongly allocated. There's substantial costs that have to be absorbed first, and it's it's why I love charities like yourself. We try and pick more local ones where people are dedicating their time and not taking massive
So
salaries.
it's what I think charity is all about. Like, okay, touching back on the tragic reasons why we've done this, but and we've helped out so many people because we're kind-hearted, but also we're selfish that this is our therapy. You know, we've never had any real counselling on bereavement or grief or anything like that. We've just been a mom and dad to her by doing this, and that sounds really cheesy, you know. But I apologise for that. But she's in our lives every single day. Okay, we have, you know, we have a little boy as well who's our rainbow baby we had after her, but we're here and we're just being a mom and dad. And if that means we're helping others along the way, that's a bonus to us, really. You know, it's amazing what we've tried to do. And I'm a dad that's gone through grief. And I like, you know, I'm doing this because Charlotte allowed all this to grow around her. What Charlotte must have gone through carrying Libby for 9 months, she was full term, and then not having her here, I know the pain. But what a lady goes through when they're going, you know, and lost a baby that way is I can't even comprehend that. I really cannot comprehend that. And I think, you know, I know she's sat here next to me, so I'll try not to be emotional. But it's incredible how she's allowed this to happen, because we could have just rolled up and gone, feel sorry for ourselves. And we sometimes we do have really bad days, and if I'm having a bad day, Charlotte pull me through, and if Charlotte's having a bad day, I'll try my best to support and try and understand what she's going through as well. But to allow this all to happen, and to the core of it is our daughter, who isn't with us in person, but she's with us every single day, is just amazing. So yeah, that was a little pass off to you, by the way.
Thanks. I don't get them very often. Yeah, so as Rich said, even though Libby's not here, she's still a huge part of our lives. And as I say, Riley was born 18 months later, but he tells everybody he's got a sister. He tells them all about his sister and what she has helped create. He's really proud that he's got a big sister in the sky. And I say, everybody he meets, he will tell about Libby and tell about the charity and how we make such a difference. So there's several ways that people can get involved in fundraising. Like Dave and his company have thankfully done for us. Set up your own event. You can join one of our events. We have our annual ball every year in October, November time. We do charity football matches. We do bucket collections, which we're always looking for volunteers for. Those are usually in local supermarkets or town centres. We sell our charity merchandise, like our bracelets. If anybody wants to get involved in making bracelets, we ask for donations of gifts for Christmas, Mother's Day, and we've just actually had a pink, because our charity colour is very pink. We've had a pink wheelie bin delivered to a corporate office in Solihull, and that's going to be filled with donations of teddy bears for our ready for when we start our fates again in the spring, summertime next year. We use those for teddy tombolas. There's just several ways people can get involved. Sponsored events, we'll always supply what you need for those. So if anybody out there can help and wants to get in touch with us, we'd love to speak to you, and we'd love you to help us along our journey.
I think, you know, it's hard to get corporate support. I mean, I'm just going to touch on two events. Our ball is this amazing. It's me and Charlotte. We've got no experience in the hospitality industry whatsoever. We put on this. I say we. We put we. I'll say we in the world we, when everybody knows who's the married couple and who's the boss and who's the brains behind this situation. But we put this amazing event on. 300 people in the Burlington Hotel. We have production that's beyond what we could ever afford funding, and that's a company called Jam Productions who provide that as a donation to the charity. And our production cost should be around £40,000, and they provide that and just say, could you please pay the lads wages? That's ridiculous. So to have that, we have a glitz and glamour event which is punching way above our weight. But it's amazing because the amount of love that's in the room, because there's people who come and actually see what this event is and what the charity means to us and how we've helped. We always try and talk about how we've helped it over the previous years. It's just amazing, and people just keep on coming back and that. And then we've got everybody likes a nice little corporate day out or thing, and then we just started the golf day again. So next year the Libby Mae golf day will be returning, which is going to be in May next year, isn't it? So that's something else we're asking people to get involved with. But we try and put these events on, and everybody, the feedback we have is just it's just amazing, which is a sentiment to us. We're doing the right things, and because at the end of the day, the charity's is an emotional one. It's a hard story to hear. People, we understand that, but we just want people to enjoy themselves. And I always say, we as a charity, even though it's tragic, we do things with a smile on our face. And we might, even though sometimes we're the biggest actors in the world, and it's hard to smile, but we make sure everybody else is smiling, because then they appreciate that, one, they're helping us, and they're actually having a good time as well. Because we've been to some events where it's very uniform, and it's like, oh, okay, there's a real story behind it, but there's not. It's hard to enjoy yourself because you know how bad a bad situation is. But we aren't like that at all. We just want to make people smile and help us as along the way.
Yeah, so if anybody wants to get involved, we'd love to hear from you. We can be contacted via our website, which is nice and new and sparkly. Again, sponsored by our good friends over at Jam Web Design. So if you want to get in touch, it's www.libbymaeslittleangels.com, and we'd love to hear from you.
I think it's remarkable what you've built, and I said it to you when we first spoke, from such a tragic situation. And as you say, most people would just curl up in a ball, feel sorry for themselves. I know from dealing with charities over the years, I used to do a lot of work for Acorns, that actually people in really difficult spots like yourselves often get torn apart, not brought closer together and build a legacy that you have. And I can only imagine, particularly as a parent, how devastating it must have been and how hard it must be for you to talk about the story and talk about the situation, because we all struggle with things in our lives that we have to talk about, and it pales in a comparison of yours. But what the legacy you've created and the good that you're doing is just
Thank
just
you.
amazing, really.
It was hard. It was hard, that we found out we was having a baby quite late in the pregnancy. So, if I think for what
26 weeks.
26 weeks. So I think let me do the maths. I'm rubbish at it, but anyway. But like literally, it was a really short amount of time to having her and shocking that no, she was going to be here, to losing her was such an amount.
14 weeks.
14 weeks. So we've done, imagine, if you've had a baby, listen to this now, you have you prepared and everything like that. The nursery's done. We had to get rid of a car because it was your car, was this little sporty little number that needed 5 seats. We needed that. Everything was just ready for Libby to be here, and not to have her here is like in that short amount of time. I don't know how we come out of it the other end. We've been in some really dark places. I'm not going to lie to you, and I'm really strong on men's mental health as well, because we've been in some real dark places. And what we did was we had to run when we lost Libby. We live in a little village where everybody knew we was the family that lost the baby, and we had flowers coming every single day to say I'm so sorry for your loss. We had to run, and while we was there, we thought, I wonder what it'd be to set up a charity in her legacy. And it weren't my idea because again, I'm not the brains behind the situation. But Charlotte went, I wonder what we'd have to do. And literally, it just snowballed into something that's where we are now. Quite proudly, that it's a massive number. So I don't even know how we're going to even say it. We've raised £750,000 and more, because that was the last tax year, and that's just astronomical, astronomical number. I don't know how we've done it. We're just a normal couple, married couple that don't like each other, and it's whole everything's just born on love and just wanting to help people, and that if there's somebody looking down and go, well, Libby's looking down because I'm a strong believer in fate, and there's situations where how has this happened, and I'm a strong believer that she supported us, but if somebody's looking down, I'm going somewhere. I've got a chance of going north than south. I think we've done a lot, and it's amazing.
It's a great cause that people want to get behind. I think unless your heart's made of stone, you can't hear your story and what's happened to you and not, I while you was talking and even about your proudness of your wife and everything that you've gone through, I felt a bit emotional, and it's not happened to me. It's hard not to love what you've created, and because of the things you're doing, and you're not just giving the money to the hospital, you're making sure it's spent on the right thing and supporting parents, that are going through tough times. No one knows when that's going to be them or someone they know, and that's why people want to support you. Obviously, I got introduced to you because you supported someone, and that's how the story will continue to grow and expand, and I'm sure many years on your son will be continuing the legacy, because clearly he's very proud of you both and of his sister for what's been created. So I feel like I say this a lot lately, but the world needs more people like you. It really does. So we all come across enough people that the world moans about. So it's nice to sometimes talk to people that we can be positive about.
We really appreciate everything you're doing for us. Thank you.
If there's one person who's listening to this who wants to help, that's enough. We always say times are hard and money's hard to come by, but if we raise a penny, that's a penny we didn't have, and that penny knows exactly where we're going to help other people. So if you are that, if you do want to help, honestly, hand on heart, where we can really make the best use of your money to help other people, and I think that's what charity is all about.
I'd obviously encourage people to get involved with your ball as well. I need to check the date, see if I can actually come this year, but I know you even offer an option for people who can't make it to the fund nurses to attend.
We do, yeah.
Don't you? And
yeah.
So there's many ways.
We like to give back to the neonatal nurses and doctors who do an absolutely amazing job. They are superheroes in disguise. So we like to give back to them. So we ask people if they want to sponsor a ticket so that a nurse or doctor can attend free of charge. We also run like an award at the event, which is called the Boss Award, which is in memory of our very dear friend, Dr. Vishnat Rasaya, who was the consultant who first found Libby's heart defect. He sadly passed away from COVID, but he was a big supporter of our charity and of us as people. He actually became an ambassador for the charity, and he was really passionate about it. So we do an award in his memory every year called the Boss Award. So we're always looking for sponsors for that as well. Again, that's to get our doctors and nurses along to the ball free of charge. So yeah, there's loads of different ways people can get involved. As I say, there's some details on our website, or if anybody wants to drop us a line, we're more than happy to discuss any ways in which people want to help.
We run our own social media as well, so that's always a good way. We're on all the social major platforms, so just drop us a line, drop us a follow, and we'll have a look at our journey, because it is a family journey. It's not all charity and doom and gloom or positive. It's a family journey of what we've been through over the years. So it's real positive. So just drop us a like and follow.
I'd encourage anyone to do that, and yet again, well done for sharing everything you share, guys, and for all the money you've raised. Unless there's anything you feel we've missed.
No, that's great.
I'll kind of wrap it up there, and I just thank everyone for watching, really, and go online, donate, support these guys.
Just one thing before you go. We are Libby Mae's Little Angels, and we really do help save babies' lives. So thank you for listening, and thank you for watching. It really means a lot to us.
Cheers.